man. Look up at the sky right now, man. I mean, I wish you could see this, but like literally right now, the whole sky is hazed out, phased out once again. I mean, I bet you tonight at sunset it will be looking purple haze all in my brain. You know what I'm saying? I bet you. But besides, that's what the weather looks like. And I mean, I think one of the prophecies of the Bible is that the moon will be darkened a third. You know what I'm saying? And a third of the stars in the sky, or they'll be a third less visible for a time before they are changed or whatever. You know, when the heavens depart and roll away as a scroll. I mean, that to me almost sounds like when you watch an old movie, black and white movie on a projector screen. Like you're looking at the sky and all of a sudden like someone pulls it down and lets go and it rolls up. Like one of those kind of curtains that you pull down and then let go and they roll up. You know what I'm saying? Retractable. Like we literally are under some kind of matrix dome. And it's all fake. Sometimes it feels that way. And now it's like they've busted into the control room of the sky somehow. Seems like here on Earth some days, but earlier, this plane, dude. I mean, I ain't even joking here or exaggerating. It flew by, and it went by me like 4 or 5 times. Like it was odd how much this thing went by. Like it did little circles around this neighborhood. It just seemed real suspicious. You know what I'm saying? That's not usual. I mean, that's strange. You know what I'm saying? That's odd. That's awkward. That's out of the ordinary. But it's just like the copter. You see the copter every few days at least once. You never seen that a few years ago. And 10 years ago, you never seen that at all. And basically, the helicopters fly around with Terminator vision, the Predator vision cameras, and like I've even heard rumors that they can see red beams on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like from the helicopter. So I mean, that's kind of in a way that's kind of psychological terrorism. You know what I'm saying? Because look, since we're chasing some dude, we get to terrorize the whole neighborhood. That's basically what that breaks down to. Same thing. There's a few bad guys around, so supposedly there could be a few bad guys around, so they get to circle the neighborhood in little 2-engine planes, and then you could. What was even else was weird about it, you could hear him cutting down the rate of the engine, so it was like riding by like really really super slow. Which was weird, was just real weird. But I mean, that's not weird. They're down in Dearborn doing a grid flyby surveillance operation of Dearborn. So I've heard on the internet. But that's not out of the ordinary. That's nothing out of the usual. That the powers, they do things like this from time to time. So it's not out of the realms of possibility. Like, oh no, they would never do that. What the heck are you talking about? They've been doing stuff like this forever. But anyway, weird thing, back to the GTA 5. It's actually a game where instead of having one character, you got multiple characters, and you could shift between characters. You know what I'm saying? And each time you do this, it's the camera angle goes way up into the sky, like you're a satellite, and it goes above the city and the scenery and these virtual neighborhoods that they put in there are pretty complex, man, and they're pretty precise. It's crazy how they do this. Just the game itself. But what the game is saying about real life is real too. If you were in a drone and you flew up and then flew over something and came down, it would look exactly like what you're seeing there. Once again, drones were also prophesy in the previous GTA San Andreas, which is the previous one to the V. Uh, and in the V, they have these blimps flying around over the city too, and uh, we know that they were flying these blimps around Boston and other places like Ferguson potentially, uh, and they were just big cameras and they were just surveilling everything. So I mean, they got you know all this data collection equipment these days where they can just like basically they're just snatching stuff out of the air and they're flying over and just getting practice watching you for some reason too. I'm not sure why they do it. It seems like if they're military or even high level alphabet, they got even if there isn't a real threat, they still gotta fly around and do these things to keep practice anyway. So, but if there's no oversight on it anymore, they can just fly around all the time for fun and just look at whoever they want for whatever reason, just to keep their skill up. So, I mean, even if you're getting hit sometimes with awkward surveillance, well, that's because they're still testing their system, their algorithm. Sometimes they got teams out here. And I mean, I've actually seen them do real kind of like tag, I would call it, or keep on, like follow someone, tail them. I've been tailed like for extended periods of time. Then they'd all break off. When I got home, like then they would, after I was not on the move, they would break off and go to their hidden cameras and shit and their microphones, and then they're different operatives who come and sneak and install spyware and cameras and shit. And then they go to their room, like on Jason Bourne, like when the CIA is like following uh, a target. You know what I'm saying? They are in a room, and then they got operatives on the street, and they're conducting the operatives on the street from this room with all these cameras on it. I mean, when you get targeted like that, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know that this is how these things work until you were targeted once, and then you were like, you'd be thinking to yourself, like, man, how in the hell are they doing this? How do they know where I'm gonna be? It seems like almost hot. I mean, and just think about it. If they did think I was the Flint Town stabber, which and I know that I fit that profile, you know what I'm saying, to an extent, uh, it would give validity to the fact that they would have watched me like that. If for a while they thought I was the Flint Town fucking stabber. So I'm not out of my mind here. And this guy was joking with me, just like the dude down in Florida, saying, "I'm gonna turn in that reward money. You look like this dude on America's Most Wanted." And then my buddy told me, he goes, "Man, I did see America's Most Wanted, and there is a dude that looks just like you, and his name's like similar. Like his last name was Alejandre or something like that." uh, so, and then this guy was telling me, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get that reward, man. You're that killer guy." You know what I'm saying? It was like a dude that I was living with, kinda in a way, and he had it. He just didn't like me for whatever reason, man, and he was joking about that. And after that, I did really get followed, gang stalked, harassed, freaked out, terrorized. I felt like it was like scientific experiments in a way, because I mean it is chasing someone around and making a file about it and stuff. In a way, you are. It's profiling. It's also social engineering, cultural engineering. I mean, there's all kinds of applications to the data that they get from these when they do these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Because some other guy was out stabbing people. They had the right to follow me around, chase me around town, just because uh, I could have been the guy. You know what I'm saying? Which is messed up. That's how the game go, though. You know what I mean? Uh, but it's crazy, man, about all this surveillance stuff, man. I mean, how deep it really goes. And this is one of the reasons, because they did that to me, is one of the reasons why now I am so aware about all these different technologies and ways they really do, and they have. Because I mean, I know if they've hit me and the people that I know in the ways that they have, they're doing this everywhere. So there's a guy like me who knows similar stuff to that I know because he's been through it, he's seen it, or there's even those on the other side that are in on it, and they'll give you confirmation that things are going on, but then again, they don't tell you no more than that. You know what I'm saying? There's like you'll run into people out here that they'll have this weird smile, this weird look of confidence, this evil look of confidence, I'd call it, and it's that they feel that they're invincible because they're part of that vampire squid, Hydra, Illuminati, beast, matrix pyramid system, you know, and sucks because it's crazy, man. I was hearing this other dude. He's talking about he got pulled over, and the cops were like, "Man, hey, we need to look at your license plate," because they couldn't scan his license plate for some reason, for whatever reason. Oh, here's that plane. I can hear him off in the background. Yeah, back to this. Well, anyway, yeah, the dude. Suppose they got machines that scan your plate, but the police can scan your plate, and if you get a certain kind of paint on them, it blocks the scanner, which is kind of weird. Uh, Kind of more Orwellian stuff in your neighborhood, like microphones, stuff, hidden microphones and cameras. But see what I'm seeing about these for one thing, these planes. Uh, Another thing, the helicopters, and then there's been an alarm going off like a tornado alarm, like every day almost, or every other day. This alarm just goes off for nothing, for no reason. It's just it seems like maybe there's a fire, but I mean if there was that many fires, that would be really strange. You know what I'm saying? That'd have to be something going on, some kind of operation. But I see that this stuff is kind of like more conditioning. They're gonna getting us preconditioned for the stuff that they're gonna hit us with a little bit later down the road. You know what I mean? Uh, so yeah, surveillance grid, spy net matrix is out of control.